We back, baby, with another reflection on the Daily Vedantic. You are what this whole podcast project is about. This whole philosophy is about you. You are the subject matter for every reflection on this podcast. You are the subject matter in every text, like the one in front of me. Going back to the oldest philosophical text in the world, the Vedas, and the philosophical portion right at the end of them, the Upanishads. You are the subject matter. In this infinite universe, if the universe, as the physicists say, is infinite, that is the predominant theory, that it is infinite. And if it is infinite, then every being is at the exact center of it all. You are at the exact center of the infinite. That's not even philosophy. That's logic. That's math. That's rational thinking. It's not the you who you think you might be. It's not the Peter. It's not the Sarah. It's not this personality that we think we are so much of the time. It's who we are deep down, according to this philosophy, according to the mystical side of every world tradition. Who you are deep down is the all, is what is existence itself. And in the same way you point to a lion, maybe you're pointing to their shoulder, to their center, to their head. You say that is a lion. Similarly, you point to yourself and you say this is the vast. This is the infinite. This isn't just a part. This is, when you point to it, the center, the exact center, if the universe is infinite. Because every point in infinitude is the exact center. The vast, that is what Brahman, which is usually tied to the supreme divinity. The supreme divinity, that which is the ground of all being, existence itself, is called Brahman in this philosophy. And the literal translation of that Sanskrit word is the vast. You are the vast. You. Little old you that might think you're just a 27-year-old, 47-year-old, tiny little speck in the midst of this grand cosmic play. This philosophy says that is the illusion, to believe that we are this tiny little speck, foreign born into this divinity, this divine cosmic play, but apart from it. And this philosophy is quite explicit when it says you're not apart from it. You are it. The rest of it, and this is the flip, the rest of it is apart from it. The rest of it is a projection of the mind. Much like you would project out a dream. It's not reality. Where are you? Who are you? What are you? These are all the same question. But the answer doesn't lie in words. The answer lies within you. As Christ said, the kingdom of heaven is within you. And as a great teacher, Sarvapriyananda, says every once in a while that humanity debates many things. We have debated which is the supreme God, which religion is right, which are wrong. We have debated these things for thousands of years. But what no one debates is that you exist. No one even thinks to debate such a foundational thought that you exist. But in the infinitude of everything that has never existed and will never exist. And that thin line that you trip over into the infinitude of everything that does exist. You just happen to be on one side of that. The good fortune, the grace to be on the side of existence instead of the infinite sea of everything that will never exist, that doesn't exist, that never has existed. You happen to be on the side of that fence of existence. You exist. And that isn't some small clue, that is the clue. It is like the dream where you think this is a brief moment. You project out a past of why you got to this circumstance, what you're going to do in this circumstance, what might come after this circumstance. We project all of those out, world build, create entire false realities every night with our dreams. And we do that in the midst of something more fundamental happening. You're lying in your bed somewhere, peacefully, safely asleep. But if you try to tell the dreamer, if someone in your dream tried to tell you this isn't real, you'd look around, you'd hit a table or two, touch a wall, see the other people in the dream and swear that it's real. And this philosophy, as I say often in this daily podcast project, this philosophy is saying this is an elevated version of that. And there is something more fundamental going on. Something so fundamental it sits at existence itself, consciousness itself, truth as experience, not as words, not as philosophy, not as a tradition, not as something to convince someone of, but truth as experience, existence itself, consciousness itself, not conscious of something, but consciousness itself. And it is so radical what is being said within this in terms of continuous study, the oldest philosophy in the world. It is so radical. Whenever I think about it and reflect on just how wild this statement is, it is equal parts as mundane as you could get, as fundamental as you could get. And the clue is that you exist. This philosophy says that you have always existed and will always exist. But even more than that you are existence itself, manifesting a false reality that we take as real. When we hear this, and I know when I not just first heard this, even years into hearing this, there was equal parts recognition of there's something true about that. Kind of stopped me in my tracks. And then equal parts just going along with the rhythm, the herd of everyone around us, the culture at large, telling us, no, you're just this small little speck of cosmic dust. So insignificant in the grand scheme of things that it might as well not even exist. We're that insignificant. And I would balance these two things. And over time, you give space to the chance, the question, is that true? Is that what we hear, what we say culturally, is that true? Are we just in the last seat of the bus and in very little to no control over our lives, over our existence, just popped in like foreign aliens into a world we don't really belong into? Is that true? Before taking the leap into the deep end of the pool of, at our core, we're existence itself, according to this philosophy. Before taking a leap into that deep end, just start with a question. Last night, or the last time that you were dreaming, did it seem real? And was your arbitration of what was real based on your sense perceptions? Sight, touch, sound. And are those sense perceptions, are those the arbiters of what is real? Was it accurate in that dream? Or did it feel real, seem real, appear real, and then you woke up? So the question can just start with, well, if you're able to create an entire world, the projection of your mind, technically speaking, it's a projection of ignorance. But the shorthand that is given within this philosophy is a projection of the mind, like the dream. And if we're capable of that each night, it's not philosophy, it's not radical, it's not science, it's not reading someone else's account. You can experience that ability to create, that capability to create an entire world each night. Jot down your dreams whenever you have a really vivid one. And the question is, this is the very shallow end of the pool, not the deep end. The question is, could this be happening here? And are my sense perceptions, sight, sound, touch, are they accurate arbiters of what's real and what's not? Take off the hat of certainty, perhaps for 5 minutes. Certainty that they are. Take that hat off for 5 minutes to sit in wonder. Instead, as Socrates said, wisdom begins in wonder. Sit in that wonder for 5 to 10 minutes, asking yourself that question. Could my sense perceptions be wrong? And if the answer is there's a chance that they are wrong, that they are not the arbiters of what's real and what's not, that they can lead us astray, whether it's the dream example, whether it's a mirage, whether it's seeing the city lights in a mirror. Any of these examples, especially the dream example, show us just how misleading our sense perceptions can be. And sitting in that wonder allows us the space to the idea that maybe there is something much bigger going on than just being little old me, walking down the street as a speck of foreign dust in a world that we don't really belong. We just pop in and out of a snap of the fingers with a 80-year life. Maybe there's something bigger going on. And that foundation of wonder might lead to a life of wisdom for yourself, for your family, for your community. That is today's reflection on the Daily Vedantic. We'll see you next time.